Are you there, Barry?
Is he there? Is he chopping static? Frozen right now.
I can't hear him.
He's frozen on my thing right now. He got disconnected.
Okay.
Okay. I'll reconnect. Are you able to hear him now at the beginning?
Yeah, I can hear him, but I think you may need to make the screen bigger because I can see your whole.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm on the screen now. Stand by.
He's almost done. He's just finishing up the live stream to get it going.
Okay, so you know we're after half past the hour. Is that going to be a problem?
No, it's fine. It's perfect.
Okay, just checking.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ready to roll?
I'm almost ready to roll. Is he going to watch this on YouTube or not?
Sure.
Is he going to watch
Well, when I boot my computer up, I'll be able to. My
Yeah.
computer decided to shut down, so I'll get there in a
Is
second.
he seeing it? It should be on now.
He's pulling it up also, so it's fine.
All right. Well, let me know when he sees it.
Let us know when you can
So,
see it on the Focus TV Live
Just
on
curious.
YouTube. Just curious.
yeah, unfortunately, my computer, I say, took a dive, so I got to restart it. It's taking a few minutes, so no
Okay,
rush.
so
If we,
no,
if we want to get
he's not
started
right
without
now
it, we
'cause
can.
his computer took a dive, so he's just going to do it on. So he's just hearing me.
Sounds good. All right, stand by. We'll wait.
And Aaron, I know what you look like, so it doesn't bother me.
Yep.
Stand by. Go ahead. You need to be staring into the camera all the time. That's going to be the biggest
Okay,
challenge.
perfect. Let's do it.
Okay. So
You
don't
ready?
don't look at the monitor. All right.
I'm ready.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. So I'm thrilled to have the Love Doctor in the house via a Skype interview right now. Barry Selby, I'm so happy and excited to connect with you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Nice to have you. Nice for me to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I have been waiting to have this fun, conscious conversation about dating, and I'm hoping to give some hot tips and hacks for the people out there in the dating world because we live in an insane world when it comes to dating and relationships today. So I want to know, what is your greatest hack? What's happening out there in the app world and all the crazy things of dating?
Oh, you want just one thing? There's 17 and come up with right off the top of my head right now because there's so much that's messed up. And living in Los Angeles, there's, how do you say this? I think we may live in a certainly artificial environment compared with some other parts of the world. However, what we learn here can be applied other places too because consciousness is, well, it's global.
Right. And I know you're a very spiritual man. You go to Agape International Spiritual Center. And that's one of the reasons why I had on the show, because I believe that dating is an opportunity to have fun, be enlightened, if you will, and be playful, but also advance in our, our own self-love and expression.
Yes, yes. Well, one of the things I talk about, well, one of the many things I talk about in my coaching and in my work and in my videos is that so many of us have been trained by society to think that we'll find love out there somewhere and that that person will make us feel whole. Jerry Maguire, you complete me. That sort of mentality is what's prevalent
Totally
and
screwed me up.
prolific. Yeah, it screwed me up too. And it's the paradigm of codependence and the biggest trap people fall into, because when that person doesn't give them what they want, they get upset, thinking somehow that the other person is responsible for your happiness. And it's a big trap people fall into all the time. So
I've
first
fallen
thing
into
is,
it big time. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Well, no, the first thing is I tell people is like, remember that the real true love that you want to have starts inside of you first, because when you're actually filled up as a whole person and not needing that person to make you feel okay, then they can be free to give you what they really want, and you get what you really want from it too.
Completely. And I get like the whole self-love, and I think that we've come to that. That's like the basis of everything. But I want to get into kind of the juice, the drama, the reality out there dating, right? Okay, so I saw this great interview where this guy was talking about dating, and he said it's kind of like, sounds great in theory. You're going to date, you're going to meet somebody, and then if you like somebody, you can really begin to advance in deepening that relationship. But he goes, but the reality of dating today is like, you're on your phone and you're like, okay, so let's meet Tuesday. And they're like, okay, cool, bye. And then Tuesday comes and you text them and they're like, oh yeah, my whole schedule's changed. Let's rearrange it for another day. Okay. Everyone's so flaky. Everyone's like, a relationship is just online. How do we actually begin to hone the relationship and begin to take it from being off online dating to an actual real relationship?
Well, the challenge is you've got to find people who meet you offline. The truth is that for many people, being online is where they live too much. So they'll spend 6, 7, 8 conversations with somebody online before they meet them in person. And by that time, the other person may have made up their mind and be just trying to find a way to back out. And the real life challenge is where they'll escape. So the truth is, I would say, if you really want to meet somebody in real life, first, communication. nice to meet you here. Let's meet for coffee. How about tomorrow? And see where it goes, because then you'll get through them faster. And secondly, you'll get a real world experience much quicker, if that helps.
Right? How do you actually take it off the app and into real life? We live in this delusional world online, and I think people are dying to actually connect with human beings. So well said, for sure. Just, it's simple, right? Like Barry said, just put it out there, make a date and see if they show up. If not, you'll know what type of a person this is. They're probably not really into dating.
Right.
Okay, so I want to know, so you have a book, a bestseller.
Yes.
50 Ways to Love Your Lover. I love that title. So give us like maybe your top 3 ways of loving your lover.
Well, wow. Well, just by the way, the book is for singles and couples, so it's not just for you if you have a lover, it's for yourself as well. One of them I already talked about, which is to not be looking for the other person to make you feel whole, because that's a trap. And the reality also is you become a victim, because if they don't give you what you want, you get upset, which is ridiculous. Second thing, and this is going to be bigger than just the online dating arena, is most of us are running tapes from our history. And until we are willing to let go of those tapes, we'll keep repeating in the present what we did in the past. So the second thing is stop, doing the same thing again, expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. And a third one,
I'm really good at that, like banging my head against the wall.
Exactly.
I mastered that class.
I have too. I talk about how I've had 3 relationships in a row in the past that led me to this work. That the same thing happened every time, and it took the third one for me to go, oh, maybe it's me, not them. And that was the wake-up call. So yes, definitely understand that one.
But let's think a little bit more sexy. Like, is it in the bedroom? Like in your book, does it talk about 50 ways to love your lover, or is it just kind of
It's not 50 positions. No. It's not 50 positions. No.
It's not into sexual positions. No, it's actually conscious.
No, I have plenty of friends who are tantra teachers who I'd refer you to if you need help with that area. I do talk about sexual polarity and the polarity of masculine and feminine in the relationship dance, because it's so mistaken in this world. And that's just one of the bigger parts of my work, is helping women in fact find, own, explore, and really own their feminine authority, because there are so many women who are trapped in the way of being in the world, where they either become weak in the female because that's what they think it is, or in the masculine battling with the men, and that's not working either. So for a lot of the women out there, it's remembering that their feminine heart, their feminine strength is bigger than they could be if they were trying to be the masculine.
Right.
So that's one of the biggest things I teach my clients.
So I have a question for you. Knowing like online, I think it's fascinating because you can swipe, you can online dating match. There's a zillion ways of meeting people today. In fact, if you really were conscious, you could have like tons of people. So how do you think, there's different concepts on this, and I have my own opinion spiritually.
Yes.
But if someone's dating, should they keep dating a bunch of people, even though maybe they met somebody that they really like, but they haven't had like that conversation or had it made it be official? Do you believe that a woman should actually keep dating multiple people just to kind of keep that flowing, or do you feel like they should actually hold a sacred space for that someone special?
Definitely the latter, and let me explain a bit more about that. The playing the field or keeping lots of fires burning is really what men tend to like to do, because they don't want to commit to anything. Women, if you want a healthy relationship, first of all, you need to be clear about what you really want, hold a space for that, and to set intention. In fact, there's several things I teach about how to create the vision and actually move that vision forward to make it magnetic. The thing about that is you don't get that relationship chance to really explore and express if you keep saying, well, hang on, I'm going to date this other person. So if you're dating 5 people, none of them get the full go, as it were. You want to really, if you want to find out someone's going to be the one for you, do it now. Don't wait till the 5th date down the road when you got 4 other people you're dating. It's too confusing.
Yeah,
I'd rather recommend you date sequentially, not simultaneously.
Fine line there, but it's an interesting thing, and I agree. I feel like people don't even know what they want. They go on these apps, they go out dating, and it's like, well, what's your goal with it? It's like, what do you mean, what's my goal? I have no idea. And then it's like, well, what do you want? I can't even tell you. 98% of the people don't even have goals, especially when it comes to dating. Do you want to just have intimacy with somebody? Do you want to have a partnership? Do you want to have a family? Are you looking to have a higher purpose with a partner? What is your goal with this?
Well, that's the thing, is that the mindset where they're going to get on an app like Tinder or Plenty of Fish, whatever app they use, to find somebody that might fit their criteria, versus here's what I really want. It's kind of like taking a bow and arrow and firing before you look at where the target is. It's like, instead of being, it should be really like, aim, ready, fire. But most people go fire, aim, ready. Like, ridiculous. So the true way to do it.
If someone is, say they're intrigued with the idea, the fantasy of romantic dating. How do they know if they want to be in a full-on relationship where a true relationship, yes, you can recreate fantasy like romance, but I think long term it gets to be more of a real reality in that there needs to be a higher purpose, things like that. How does someone even know that they really would want a relationship when they haven't experienced being in a true relationship long term? What do you say to people if a client comes to you and says, I want to get married, and you're like, how do you even know you want to be married?
Well, it's kind of the thing about you can't ride a bike without learning to ride a bike. Same thing in a long-term relationship. You can't know what it's going to be like to be married until you get married. You know, there are people who've been married 3-4 times. Doesn't mean they're any better at it than anybody else. So it's back to really what you're really calling forward, what you really want. And not sure. Ask people who are married if you want to find out more about marriage. Or read, if there's books out there. My book isn't about marriage. You can read about it, or just ask people who've been married, like, what's it like for you? What is the challenges? What's good about it? Then you'll have a better picture of what you're looking for. But if you really want the romantic ideal of lifelong partnership, it may be too much of a fairy tale to not have all the other pieces included, including the challenges, the upsets, the things that happen. Because a lifetime relationship also includes the challenges in sex, money, all these other pieces. And if you don't include those, you're going to have some challenges.
Right. Okay, so let's play a little game. Let's play a little conscious dating game.
Okay.
And this is just your opinion, so there's not anything right or wrong. But I'm curious to know, okay,
Yes.
so off quick, okay? So how long should someone wait to have sex, to actually become intimate when they're dating?
As long as it is until they feel really comfortable, which could be the second day, could be the 10th day. It's really up to them.
Okay, what's the worst thing someone can do on a date?
Be on their phone the whole time.
Yeah, I love it. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I thought you were going to say something like projecting, having that person, be the source of their, love. But no, that was a real.
No, that comes under that one. That's up there too. Yeah.
For sure. Okay, and so, what's the number one piece of advice you'd give to anybody, any woman out there dating?
Love yourself first. Don't try to find the man that's going to fix your problems for you. That's a mistaken approach. You got to start from the place where you're whole, because then, first of all, you won't get manipulated, and secondly, you really will be able to choose a man that will match you and stand next to you versus a man that's going to try and fix you, which will be put it this way: it may sound good initially, but in 6 months you'll be hating it. So really be whole first.
Okay, what's your number one favorite dating site or app?
Ooh, I don't really have one in particular because actually, you know what? Facebook.
Ah, fascinating.
Because
Expand
the
on
reason
that.
being is because to me, Facebook is a social network, obviously, but it's also a place where you can meet people. And most people, before the smartphone apps came out, would meet people in social environments. Because we're online so much now, using Facebook not as a way to go finding dates, but if you meet someone on social media and you get to know who they are, you can say, look, I enjoy what you're about. Let's meet for coffee. Versus not going out, I want to go have sex with them. That's a messed up way of approaching it. But frankly, I think that because Match did a thing where 1 in 5 relationships begin online. I strongly believe that 90% of those started on social media, not in the dating apps. Facebook, for a start, is free. Secondly, you get to know who their mutual friends are, and you can actually find out more about the person. And ask your 15 mutual friends, what do you think of this person? And thirdly, you get to really know their natural style because they'll be posting about it. If they're posting pictures of food all the time, you may be thinking maybe you shouldn't go out with them if you lunch and like food.
All right. I completely agree with you, Barry. I think that's great advice because there's a time and a place to have an online dating app or a site or whatever for clients, but why would you not want to find somebody that has similar, hobbies and things? And you can go into groups, you can go into different networking things on Facebook and discover all kinds of community there. So I think that's a really, really great advice there.
You're welcome.
So I want to ask, how did you get the name The Love Doctor?
That's really from my friends and clients. It wasn't something I was looking for. In fact, I've got 2 friends of mine. They are literally doctors of love because they're PhD. I'm not, but they call me the Love Doctor because of the way I approach my work, I think.
Oh, and you really are. I've known you for years and years and years online through spiritual centers and whatever, and you really are a true love, a very loving spirit. I feel it always through everything you post, everything you're up to.
Thank you.
So what do you think is going to happen in the future? They say that dating, marriage is even declining with the younger generations, and things like polyamory, open relationships are coming about. And I have mixed feelings on it, quite frankly. I'm all about having freedom of expression, but I also feel like a little bit like we have a detachment disorder as a culture. And I feel like true intimacy is such a beautiful place to dive deep into your own soul and be reflected with another person. So where do you think this is going, and how do you feel like people are going to actually have love and connection?
Well, first of all, let me just speak a little bit about polyamory, because you touched on something for me that's also one of my declarations, as it were. I believe that you can choose either one, monogamy or polyamory. However, you got to be clear. And I said this once, and I was on a panel discussion 6-7 years ago, and the question came up was, what's better, polyamory or monogamy? And I said, well, you can either go wide or you can go deep. And the person said, what does that mean? And I didn't know, because it came through me. And I explained what I meant after I let it come through. And the reality is, as you said, intimacy and depth of connection can only happen one-on-one. You can do a certain amount with multiple people, but the reality is you only have so many hours in a day. And if you've got 5 people you're being in sexual connection, intimacy with, you can't go as deep as you can with one person the whole time, because there is no limit to how far you can go in depth with one person. So I believe monogamy is the way to go. Now, in the future, there's so much going on with technology and all this stuff with virtual worlds. I don't have a distinct answer, but I believe that really what's coming up is we need to define and declare our love as as partnerships. The word marriage may change, because marriage is a legal agreement, not an emotional agreement. So this marriage thing may be just transitioning to a different label or a different description, because some people don't need that legal agreement to be together for 20 years. I mean, look at Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. They've been together how many years, and they never got married. So there's no rules about this.
Yeah, I agree. So how do you feel about doing a little affirmative prayer for knowing the truth for everyone out there that's watching in, that is desiring love and connection, whether it be in a soulmate, one person, whether it be an expression as polyamory, whatever that is, whatever title, whatever identity, just knowing, I know that you're very spiritual and you use prayer also. How do you feel about doing a little round robin together on that?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, good. So I'll begin. So just in this divine appointment, this divine interview via this technology called Skype and through Focus TV Network in West Hollywood, I just recognize that it's all love, that there is only one source of love, and it is within. It is God, it is divine, it is spirit, it is just energy, the backing of that is the creative factor. And I recognize this divine man, Barry, just a loving, the love doctor that he is, knowing that as he reveals the truth, he reveals love as I pass to Barry.
And I know in this space, in this moment, in this perfect time, that everybody who is watching this, everyone who's listening to this, everyone on the planet is sourced in love. There is really only one thing happening, which is love expressing itself through each of us. And so those seeking love, remember the love is coming from them, through them, as them in their interactions. They can find love wherever they look, because it comes from inside. The blessing of love is what heals, what grows, and what inspires each of us, all of us, every one of us. I'm so grateful to know that in this place, we recognize love is the answer to everything. And for this and so much more, I'm grateful, and I simply say, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much for this this amazing, great love interview. And so if people want to find you, I know they can find you at barryselby.com, correct?
Yes.
And then through social media, Barry Selby as well. Is there anything else? Any other ways they can reach out to you?
Well, my website has everything on it. They can find me I'm on Facebook Live every day. And all my social media is the same thing. It's my name, first and last name. It's Selby, and it's Barry.
Great, wonderful. Well, I look forward to having more conscious conversations about dating. I think it's a very, very important conversation. I think there's a lot of single people out there, a lot of people that are dying for love and connection. And you know, when we set our intention, we direct energy, and we know clearly what we desire, it is done. So thank you so much, and have a great day. Can't wait to chat again.
Thank you. Thank you, Erin.
Bye-bye.
Bye.